Haley, is FECO and RSO dangerous for animals?
Overdosing is dangerous. Overdosing is bad. Unedible is going to, too much narcotic medicine is going to have an unwanted effect. Vomiting, diarrhea, that kind of stuff is, it's an unwanted thing, right? Will cannabinoids suppress respiratory and neurological function to the point of death? Over the case of treating thousands, even tens of thousands of animals, I've never seen any kind of specific allergic reaction that causes that life-threatening situation. Is it an unwanted situation and a bummer when the dog is, in that situation? Absolutely, just like with a toddler and just like with a grandparent. So under supervision and under care, you need to be careful to keep them away from that. Most veterinarians will, because of that, it's an unwanted situation, and you could argue that it's emotionally toxic even, right? Mm-hmm. So veterinarians, in their experience, that they do consider it toxic for dogs. When you're in the room treating a late stage patient under care, the veterinarian will see that the medicine, by virtue of destroying inflammation, destroying cancer cells, it's starts to be a life-saving strategy. The veterinarian usually ends up changing their tune as you start to see the things work and function. So, is it toxic for dogs? It'll cause some unwanted reactions if not managed carefully.
Yeah, if they get too much, like anything.
Most veterinarians will consider it to be toxic for dogs, and as a cannabis oil specialist, as a cowboy medicine specialist, I can say that hasn't been my experience, and it's veterinarians, like Western doctors, are on the same learning curve as everybody else, right? Yes. Although they are still considering it to be toxic, just like heroin overdose would be toxic for dogs too. Right? But in the end, it's not physiologically dangerous, and so it doesn't have the same degree of risk, but it does have risk that is prohibitive and therefore considered unwanted.
If it's not handled correctly.
But if you're faced with a life-threatening situation, it often is a risk worth taking, right? And that's why organizations that specialize in these things come in. And so if handled correctly, just like morphine with a pediatric brain tumor patient, you don't want to give that to your kid for any reason. But if you're talking, or chemo or radiation, there's risk. So the powerful things need to be handled correctly. But if handled correctly, they are often life-saving. And if that's the case, then the risk was worth it, right? Yeah. But every person for themselves will have to decide if that risk is worth taking based on the stage, the diagnosis, the prognosis, and the situation. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Makes sense?
Pretty clear.